What is it about James B. Congdon Elementary School? Something remarkable is happening in this quiet, working-class neighborhood, nestled just east of Lower Dartmouth Street in New Bedford's South End. That something is remarkable learning. In fact, by statewide standards, it is outstanding learning. Within the city's oldest continually operating school building, the students, teachers, and staff are achieving results that other schools and districts continue to strive toward.
Every child needs something different, and it's really our job as a school department, as a school, as teachers, as a principal, to meet those individual needs, which is challenging. You know, when you have a class of 25 kids and there are 25 different needs, you have to be very creative with your approach.
Congdon is in a special class. Just 67 other schools across the Commonwealth earned a place in this select group, according to the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Congdon ranks in the 91st academic percentile. It meets or exceeds 100% of the targets, exceeds attendance targets, exceeds all targets in English language arts, math, and science. Congdon exceeds targets toward attaining English language proficiency and is only one of 6 schools in the state recognized for 3 categories: high achievement, high growth, and exceeding all targets. And Congdon achieved similar results last year too, so it's due to deliberate action. Can we learn how and what Congdon School is doing, and can it be replicated in other schools? We know it's not magic, it's real, tangible practices, thinking, and school culture. Webster's dictionary defines a secret sauce as an element, quality, ability, or practice that makes something or someone successful or distinctive. Focus on Learning is going inside to find out what ingredients go into Congdon's recipe for excellence.
Tell us a little bit about the Congdon School in general.
So Congdon School was built in 1907 in the middle of the south end of New Bedford. I think it's always been a very diverse school. It served mainly Portuguese families. I had always heard it was the little Portuguese school in the south end of New Bedford. And I think we've held on to that diverse student body where second languages are revered and held as a strength, and so now we service more populations, diverse populations. We have a lot of Spanish-speaking students. We have Quiche-speaking students, Portuguese, Cape Verdean Creole, and we still hold to that. I like to say we're a language magnet school, and we really support students in keeping and celebrating their native language, even though it may be something other than English. About 49% of our school right now, their native language, their first language, is something other than English.
Write the word first, and it's the beginning of your sentence. Yes.
We needed to learn different ways of teaching as a staff in order to help our students grow and acquire English language at a faster rate than other schools had to do. So we kind of got together as a staff and we did a lot of professional development around vocabulary acquisition. We did a lot of professional development around accountable talk and designing classes that give students the opportunity to listen and speak in English more. We know that's how language develops, and so it's kind of counter maybe what other schools do with a lot of reading and writing and silent reading and silent writing. We do a lot of thinking aloud, talking with kids, having kids talk back to us using really complete thoughts and sentences. So we changed pretty much everything that we were doing. We just learned a lot and we vowed together. We made a promise that what we're doing here is really important And so we have to be the experts to help our kids achieve.
So I asked you to rip out page 133 and put it on your clipboard. You can look at that while we're doing this problem. I want you to try number 4 on your own, and you're going to show me the work using the one-way classroom.
I think the approach has to be, you must change your approach to meet the needs of the kids in front of you today. We do a great thing every August with the staff. We say, what are those classical things that were great teaching 100 years ago, 50 years ago, that will never go out of style? We need to keep doing those things. Those are classical ways of teaching. What are things that are just outdated? Maybe they worked 50 years ago, but they don't work in today's world. We need to stop doing those things. And what are the innovative, creative, new practices that we can learn about and start doing to help students succeed in today's world?
And you can all join us. We make this promise together every single day. Every adult in the building promises to do this. I promise to do it. And every student does as well. Repeat after me. Today and every day, I promise to work hard. Be nice. And stay safe.
The code, I believe, drives everything we do. We're definitely a culture of love. We love the kids. We promise every day to work hard, be nice, and stay safe, the students and staff. And we hold them to that. If I get called, a kiddo's needing more support, my first go-to is, did you promise today to work hard, be nice, stay safe? You're not keeping your promise, and we process through. The code, I think, is very much part of the secret sauce.
I've been here since Darcy started 5 years ago, and she started this whole program. You have to have some kind of beginning where they start with, so you have something to go back to. And you're always saying working hard, being nice, referring to our chart over there, which is we follow the code. If something is going wrong in your classroom, you can refer to and have a mini lesson about what's expected of them, why they shouldn't be choosing some of the choices they're making, what would be a better choice they can choose, and always reiterating. That's why we say that code every single morning. We make that pledge, the teachers make the pledge as well, because we're following the code just as well. Working hard as teachers, being nice, and staying safe every day.
I began working here the first year that Principal Unks began, so I don't have any experience before her leadership, but since she's been here, she's completely turned around the rules, routines, the rituals of the school building. Every single student in this building knows that their job at school is to work hard, be nice, stay safe, and you see that throughout the day, every single day. Something else that I definitely think is a positive of this school since she's been here is everyone loves coming to school here, whether you're a kid or a teacher. It's just a really great environment to be around, and a lot of that is because of her.
To me, it feels like, and I'm, sort of, I guess, the general manager, but it feels like a team, and everybody knows that they have a role, but they're a really important part of the team, whatever their role, whether that's student, staff, as staff in any area, the office, the nurse, the cafeteria, the custodians, teachers, everybody.
We come together as a team and you ask for solutions to problems, and then it's almost instantaneously that day or the day after we already see employed our ideas, and that hasn't always been, I shouldn't say all principals I've dealt with in the years I've been an educator, but that definitely is important to see that your input is validated by what we say that day and it's employed the next day.
So my staff is a good mix. We have about 10 teachers who are here before me, and I brought in close to 10 teachers that were brand new, and then some veteran teachers from other schools where I worked in the district before.
From
when I started, the challenges that we had were the gaps in the MCAS questions. We really looked at the standards and grouped our children based off the needs of each standard and where they were lacking.
I need to write 31 a different way. How am I going to write 31?
The important thing for us is that we really focus on standards-based instruction. Our groupings are tailored to what that specific student needs, and those groups are fluid, so they might be in one group one week and then in another group another week. So we're targeting their both strengths and weaknesses all the time.
Being a special education teacher, we have students with all different disabilities, so you have to treat each child as an individual and give them what they need to make them succeed. The co-teach model, I believe, does that. We can focus on their goals in their learning when I'm in the classroom, and then when I pull them out for support. When I go to another grade, Ms. Gonzalez is still there to pick up right where I left off, so there's no gap in the learning.
I think the biggest change is the positive climate and culture that have been built over the 4 years. We did a lot of self-reflecting. We had high expectations. We changed and adapted to the students' needs. We even, changed our belief system as well so that it would complement the students, therefore hopefully bringing even more success.
When you first came here 5 years ago, obviously the challenges were incredible. To achieve where you are now is obviously a testament to you and your staff. Tell us a little bit of what you were facing 5 years ago.
I would say we were very crowded with 416 students in this little school building. We have English learners bussed in from other schools who don't have full-time ESL teachers. And so we had a lot of students who are level 1 English learners, which means they know very little English, if any. And we knew we had to learn a lot about that. I made a huge case for keeping students once they got up to proficiency level 3 for language, because they would sometimes bus them back to their neighborhood schools, and I felt like if you really want to create a safe space for students, we need to keep them K to 5. So we want our kids to stay the whole time, even if they're not our neighborhood school. They're going to transition anyway to middle school, so they can transition naturally then back to their neighborhood middle school.
I have a lot of students in my class specifically. I have the level 1 and 2 English language learners. So some of them have just come to the country as early as the day before they start in class. And I think of it as a big priority for me, this first day they start here, to really get them accustomed to the school, find a buddy who speaks their language, and make sure they really feel comfortable in the school. Some strategies that we do in this class, in this school, are actually strategies that are beneficial to all students. I mean, when you think of an elementary school, they're all really young kids who all need vocabulary development and speaking skills. So we do a lot of Freyer models where they learn a word, think of synonyms that match that word or words that they know in their language that would help them. And we give them a lot of exposure to language and opportunities to speak with their peers or out loud. Quiet, whisper, turn and talks, things like that if they're not comfortable speaking out loud just yet.
And get him back to safety without the help of his dog.
It's definitely difficult having a newcomer in your classroom when they don't understand anything, mostly in a way that sometimes I just feel so bad that they don't know what's going on, but we always say that no matter what, that we treat all kids with the same expectations, and as long as you're holding them to that high standard, it's amazing how much they actually can meet it. I have a girl who just started at the beginning of this year, and I didn't think she was really understanding much until 2 weeks ago. I got another Spanish-speaking student enter the classroom, and she was translating for him exactly what he needed to be doing just by listening to my directions that have always been in English. So it's amazing how quick you realize they do catch on, and that was her just being exposed to the same instruction, the same language as the rest of the class. The way we group students in this school is we do try to keep a lot of like language-based kids together. So there are always someone else, usually in the class, who can speak the same language as them. And then those kids who might not think they're like an asset to the academics because they're a newcomer, if you really pull out those strengths of you're going to be a teacher's assistant and you need to be my translator because I don't know Spanish, and give them those roles, they really shine.
I think you have to have high expectations. You always want them to be able to lift up. You want to always teach to the top. And I think the other kids just somehow, they rally up all around them, and you always have kids that are always pushing each other. So I think when they see someone else working hard and there's examples of it, they just all start to follow in the same pattern. Especially when you have administration and teachers that all use the code every single day.
You know, when it comes to achieving that kind of success, it definitely doesn't happen overnight. I think Ms. Angst, as a principal there, has cultivated a staff, and having it where you have willing and caring people that put themselves, so much put themselves second, but putting the students first and doing and taking all the initiative and the steps to make sure that what we're doing is in the best interest of the students. And one thing I pushed since coming in last year is that we want to make sure all of our decisions are based on what's in the best interest of students, but also how do those decisions impact the adults. We have to make sure that our adults are in a good place to be able to lead those classrooms, to make sure that we're being able to pull out those talents and those other things that students have to be able to demonstrate that success, because it is all about them. And that is truly what I believe that the Congdon staff believes. And across the district, we have lots of schools that are continuing to make progress as well.
We have Osiris from 5th grade. And he's going to talk about it in his speech, but I saw a bunch of little ones cheering for him, and that is because he stepped up for Congdon in a big way as a leader. And he is a junior coach at recess, and so he helps the little ones at school. All right, you ready? Loud and proud.
Hi, my name is Osiris, and I'm a 5th grade student. I'm a proud Congdon Crusader. I came to Congdon in the 4th grade. When I started, I was very scared because it was all new to me. When it came to schoolwork, I would always give up on myself. It didn't take long before I knew that my teachers wouldn't give up on me. I started to work hard because I knew that my teachers wouldn't let me give up. I started to feel like I belonged in the school. I felt like my teachers, principals, and I had a good bond. As time went on, I made some great friends. They would always encourage me with kind words and actions. When I repeated the year, I knew that I had the power to never give up on myself. I had the confidence to work hard. I knew that if I didn't give up, I would be the kid I wanted to be. I became a junior coach at recess, and now I'm able to encourage other students that were like me to work hard, be nice, and stay safe. I feel like coming to this school has made me grow, and if it weren't for this Congdon, I wouldn't be the kid I am today.
So this has been a gradual progression, I would say. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, It's been 5 years. I mean, you were successful in 2018, but the foundation was laid 5 years ago, and it takes time.
Oh, it's taken us a solid 5 years, and we really still are constantly reflecting on how we can do things better. Obviously, we're not going to just measure our success by MCAS testing, which only happens once a year. We're constantly reflecting every day. What could we do better? How could we handle this parent meeting better? How could we handle this behavior better or this lesson better? I'm lucky to work in an environment where teachers try to constantly get better at their practice, that they don't think of it as this stagnant, just this one test determines what kind of teacher I am. I think that has a bigger impact on growth and turnaround of a school. But it has taken us a solid 5 years. We've had really good growth for 4 years, but when you start in the 17th percentile, really good growth may take you up to the 34th percentile, which is still below average. And so you have to, once you gain traction, you can't let off, right? You have to keep your foot on the gas, keep moving forward, keep looking for things that aren't working and rooting those out, and then keep watering and enhancing the things that are helping us grow.
The chain of kindness is our school-wide acknowledgement system where we catch kiddos following the code, doing kind acts. The code is work hard, be nice, stay safe. So all the teachers, if they see a kiddo in the hall, maybe holding the door for someone or helping a little one tie their shoe, will say, you know, tell your teacher to get a link. It's color coded, so starting red for K, orange 1, and progressing up till purple for 5th grade, so we can identify what grade level. But every link is a witness act of kindness in the school, and we've wrapped it around 1st floor, 2nd floor, and 3rd floor, and we'd like to now go down to the cafeteria in the basement area, and then also like do a double link if we could, just to reiterate how important it is to be kind to others and work hard and stay safe.
I think the kids here feel safe and loved here. I think when they walk in that building, they know everybody here cares about them and really wants to see them succeed. And I think they feel it the second they walk in the building.
The best thing about the school since I've gotten older is how nice the teachers are, how nice the staff are, and if you get anything, if you need help, the teachers will help you easily, and they just make it easier for you.
To be a 5th grader is very important because you want to show the little kids how to become, when they hit 5th grade, how to become a 5th grader and start working hard and be nice and stay safe when you hit 5th grade.
The thing that I liked about the schools that much is the teachers. The teachers are very inspired me to do better in school and stuff like that. It's the school is just the best.
You know, there's something to be said for routine. I think we all thrive better when we kind of know what the expectations are. We know that walking in, that the people that we're going to see care and have us, and they have our best interests at heart. And again, just that level of consistency and making sure that students, again, just knowing what to expect. And people will say, so what's the magic about it? And I'm thinking, well, a combination of having the right mindset, making sure you have the right people, and generating that love of learning from the students, and really just demonstrating that we care about everything everything that's all about the students, in those daily situations.
What's been accomplished here is really impressive. When you think about it, this is, to our understanding, the highest on the state's accountability index, the highest achieving school, highest scoring school in all of southeastern Massachusetts, which is pretty good. And I'll go so far as to add this, and this is really, directed at Darcy and her team and the faculty here and everybody who's on the Congdon team. Given what we know about the demographics in this school, I think a strong case can be made that this is the best elementary school in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
So you have the success the past couple of years recognized by the state. Does your philosophy change? Does your approach change?
Our approach will not change. The last 2 years when I told the staff that they were a school of recognition, I thought I would hear cheers and yelling and whooping, and they were like, oh no, we have to, how are we gonna outdo this? How are we gonna top this? And that's just their mindset as a teaching staff. They are constantly trying to be better.
Is there one thing, because a lot of people will say, well, what's the secret? And I know there's no one secret, but is there one thing that you think is more important than anything else in the success that you have, or just in the day-to-day approach that you have?
So this is gonna sound very Pollyanna, rose-colored glasses, but I think it's love. You have to love the kids, love the kids that you have today in the classroom. You have to love what you do. You have to love each other. You have to love the fact that your job is so important and stressful. You have to take that on and own it. I think when you look through everything with that lens, you know your job is not just a job. It's really an impact for the future.
Did you know that you can watch any of New Bedford Cable Network shows anytime, anywhere on all of your mobile devices? How, you may ask? Just log on to nbcablenetwork.com and bam! You have all 3 channels at your fingertips: public, educational, and government access. Here, you can view our program schedules, watch our channel's live broadcasts, or search for a particular program in our vast library of shows. Last year alone, New Bedford Cable Network produced over 500 shows, and nearly all of them are available online at nbcablenetwork.com. Not only can you stay up to date with what's happening in your local government and schools, but also dive into some of New Bedford Cable Network's original award-winning programs. So check us out at nbcablenetwork.com.